Thank you for tuning in to TheSiriusMessenger. The topic for this presentation will be From Boys to Men, a Rites of Passage. All throughout history in countless nations and tribes, there were trials, rituals conducted to test boys of a certain age. This was known as a rites of passage. This was necessary to fill the ranks of men that were too old to fight in wars or protect the village. When a boy reached an age of trial, determined by the tribe or the village council, he was taken to a place from the village to go through the rituals of trial to become a man. If he succeeded, he moved into the ranks of men, as the men have done before his birth. But if he failed, he was to stay with the women as a boy to help them until the council determined he should take the trial again. This was clearly shown in the movie 300, when the young Leonidas was set on a path to be initiated into the ranks of the Spartans, and thereafter he was given honor for passing the ordeal which made him a man. The rituals and trials now have become games and contests rather than actual training for the development of young boys into becoming competent leaders. And that was the key aspect of the initiation to find potential leaders. The one key skill that every boy needs to have is leadership. Leadership gives him the ability to aid and support others, and to a larger extent, communities. A leader devotes themselves to having discipline and an unyielding commitment for the safety and well-being for those in his community. As I pointed to the initiation of young Leonidas becoming a Spartan, a leader, this was a prominent achievement in Grecian history because those were the men who protected Greece from outside attacks from foreign invaders. Now, today in our communities, we are not being attacked by outside invaders, but from within. Nonchalant and wretched behavior is prevalent, and there seems to be no end in sight. When it comes to our boys and teenagers, they are the ones seen as a threat in many cases without provocation, and those that are committing crimes are of a small percentage within our communities. Our boys are being portrayed as unnecessary and not worthy of refinement. This portrayal is insensitive and ignorant to our community as a whole, and also has an adverse psychological effect on a young mind. Young people understand when they are being misrepresented and disproportionately assigned the labels of thugs and criminals. Although this narrative isn't true, the presentation made during the 24/7 news cycle is very convincing. We can't control the media, but we can control our actions. To combat this negative characterization, simple virtues of good character need to be reinstituted and stressed are honor, loyalty, faith, and integrity. These are virtues that need to be developed within our boys because no one lives by a code anymore. The virtue of integrity is very important. Integrity is keeping your word. There is a saying, my word is bond. Those are not just empty words. They mean you can be trusted to do what you say on your word alone. It was your oral contract. A rites of passage was more than an initiation. It was a tradition, a discipline, a tradition that has built cities and nations, and a discipline which has created some of the most important figures in the world, from Marcus Aurelius to Arthur Ashe. To complete the initiation was not an easy task, but overcoming the trials placed before you made you a strong and reliable individual. What comes to mind is the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. This is the story of a man who, as a boy, went through adversity and as a young man, and later on became a Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, and I believe Air Force survivalist. It is a good read for every man and boy. There may be fathers, uncles, cousins, siblings, and neighbors who, in some form or another, are doing this very thing to help boys stay off the wrong path. It is our duty to train these boys to become good men by instilling self-respect and good behavior. Respect is one of the most important things to a man, and disrespect is the polar opposite of that idea. I have heard young people say you have to earn their respect to get respect. Earn? Really? No. Respect is given until disrespect is shown. Our behavior or how we act or react to a situation is something we need to pay close attention to. It plays a big part in creating a calm, peaceful community. Self respect is that internal check that will not allow you to display yourself in a negative manner. Good behavior is always accepted. Bad behavior tells people outside of us how to treat us. It reveals if we are trustworthy and if we are worthy of respect. Being cordial and kind costs nothing, but we have become so disrespectful and distrusting and disinterested in each other's well being. We should be the protectors, the builders, and the innovators in our community, and not prey on each other as though we are enemies or strangers. Our boys should be trained in problem solving, conflict resolution, civility, respect, self respect, and good behavior, because in a lot of cases where fighting at our worst, the boys are lacking in those areas. The training prescribed in this presentation is nothing like a rites of passage, but the situation and conditions call for a different approach to the rites of passage. The physical trials of the past help build character to face fear when going against your enemies. The mental training I'm suggesting is for the character building from the inside to fight off all the negative external forces young boys face daily. This type of rites of passage will help the boy grow into a man by having restraint, empathy, and logic, and dealing with people and things outside oneself and stay in total control. It is an inward journey that most of us have never traveled. All right, that's the topic for today on Sirius Messenger. Please click the like button and subscribe. Wow. Until the next time, signing off.